Hey, it's John here from Mold Removal Center, www.moldremovalcenter.com, and today we're going to cover water damage and mold. Now, excess moisture and mold growth in your home is something we'll look at. The most common sources of excess moisture in your home are water damage from a flood, a burst pipe, an overflowing toilet, or a leaky roof or foundation. Now, mold from water damage in your home begins quickly if the items affected are not cleaned and dried well within 48 hours. After that time frame, you'll have two choices. Clean up the water damage and the resultant mold by yourself, or hire a mold remediation company. It's that simple. Now, take the steps to protect yourself. There are steps you must take to protect yourself and your family from the possibility of mold-related illnesses and your home from damages that could be so severe they could lower your home's value. Now, what follows is a quick primer on the why, how, and what of water damage and mold to get you started. Why does mold take hold when water damage is present? How can mold from water damage make you sick? And what can you do about water damage and mold in your home? Now, why does mold grow? Well, the most important condition for mold growth is moisture. And when you add that moisture to the organic materials that comprise most of your home and you multiply it with a lack of ventilation, you have mold. Now, unless a flooded home with soaked carpets, seeping walls, or blistered hardwood floors is thoroughly cleaned and dried immediately, the mold will settle in to digest organic materials and feed itself and multiply. Now, how does mold make you sick? Well, while mold is digesting the organic material on which it's living, it releases allergens and toxins and spores, which are tiny mold seeds that can cause any number of health problems for you or your family. And symptoms and illnesses run the gamut from run-of-the-mill allergy symptoms to big asthma attacks to even pneumonia. The Center for Disease Control even warns that otherwise healthy people can experience upper respiratory distress, including coughing, wheezing, headaches, and extreme shortness of breath in the presence of mold spores. So what can you do about mold? Number one, act quickly when there's water damage or flooding. Make sure the source of the water is identified and stopped. Be safe. When doing any do-it-yourself mold removal or cleanup, always protect yourself with non-porous gloves and a protective mask, and clean with simple borax-based detergents and water. Protect family members and the unaffected parts of your home while cleaning. Always handle moldy materials carefully so that the mold spores aren't sent flying back into the air. Now, items that can't be cleaned or saved must be thrown away carefully. Make sure everything is dry. Use dehumidifiers and exhaust fans and heaters even to get rid of any moisture that's built up from a flood or a broken pipe. Do not reinstall paint or use any item that isn't 100% dry. Inspect everything. Areas near the water damage and mold growth under floorboards, tile and carpet and wallpaper, behind drywall, even in crawl spaces in basements. Make sure that no mold has been missed or you're going to have to start the whole process over again. And who wants to do that? Now, when should you call in the professionals? If you decide to hire a mold remediation expert, keep these things in mind. Number one, if you have water damage and you can see or smell mold, you have mold. No need to hire an expert to come in and inspect and find out whether or not you've got it. You move directly to mold remediation. Now, make sure the mold removal experts that you hire are really mold removal experts. They should be trained and certified, both in water damage restoration and mold remediation, and have the references to prove it. Find out what they're cleaning with, how they'll protect the rest of the house from mold spore proliferation, if they'll put a guarantee in writing, if they're fine with you bringing in a post-remediation mold inspector of your own, and if they'll stand by their quote. Make sure to get those things clear before you hire anybody. Well, that's the end of this presentation. Thanks for listening. If you've got any other mold removal questions, check out www.moldremovalcenter.com. Visit us anytime you want to be mold-free.